Good evening. So that was impressive. Students, you could learn something from your parents there. The lights go out. Thank you so much to everyone for joining us tonight. You hear me say this all the time about what a fabulous arts and music education program we have here. And I just want to give a shout out to the people that make that possible. We have our department leader who actually runs the show. We have Mrs. Storrs over there, the Storrs And I can honestly tell you there is no greater advocate for the arts and music programs than Michelle, probably in New York State. So she's there in and out, making sure that we never lose this opportunity for our students. We have Mr. Geraci, who is somewhere, he'll be out. When he came on last year, our band program kind of was struggling a little bit, and not only does he get the kids to participate, he gets kids in the middle of the year seeing how great he does with the kids coming on, and he also does our guitar club. If you don't know, we have a guitar club. And after they have Mr. Geraci, they move on to Mr. Dowling, who is also our high school band teacher, director. And why this is so important for us, and I haven't broken this to them because I can't wait to see Mr. Dowling's face when I inform him that as of right now he has 61 band students for 7th and 8th grade next year in a class, in a building that holds 300 students. And that says something for the dedication of our students and our families to providing an opportunity such as music to all of our students. So I do want to thank the Catskill Music Parent-Student Association for all the work they do, the families for all the work you do when they're practicing at home, and also the students for seeing, and they hear me say this, there's more to school than books, and that's what tonight is about. So thank you all. A very special thank you to Pat Hernandez. Mr. Hernandez is people who are here today who are videotaping this, and so everyone can play it back. So thank you again. It's great to see everyone. And I'd like to introduce our assistant principal, Ms. Kosher.
Thank you, Principal Overbaum. So just a couple reminders. Please make sure that your cell phones take this up as an opportunity to please mute your cell phones. And additionally, if you do have to leave it all, please do so during the transitions, either between songs or between performances. So at this time, we're going to go ahead and get started, and we're going to welcome our 7th and 8th grade chorus. Enjoy the show, everybody.
Good evening, everyone. Welcome to tonight's awesome spring concert. What I love the most about the spring concert is when you compare winter to spring, we see such amazing change. And I know all of us are very excited to share with everyone the amazing growth that these students have had, not just in September, but since December when we had our winter concert. I want to take a little bit of a break here and highlight a couple of students. This was a very busy second semester for a lot of our musicians, not just here in the middle school, but across the entire district. So I wanted to highlight 3 students. You guys might have heard about this thing called a musical that we do here at the high school. And these 3 students auditioned and participated as ensemble members in our recent production of Sister Act. So give a little bit of a wave. Luis and Victoria and Liz, give a little bit of a wave. So these ladies stepped up and joined the high school kids, and were here very late nights, and they got a very clear taste of what to expect when you come to the high school level. But then a week after that, and I kid you not, we closed Sister Act on Sunday, and then that Wednesday we had the Greene County Music Educators All-County Spring Festival. And we had several of our 7th and 8th grade students selected to perform in the junior high chorus. Now, this is going to sound a little weird tonight as we talk about this because there was elementary band, junior high chorus, and then senior high band. So just for those of you that are new to the way All-County works, is the elementary programs are combined grades 5th and 6th grade. Your junior high programs are 7th grade, 8th grade, and 9th grade. And then, of course, your senior high is 10th, 11th, and 12th. So these students combined together with 7th, 8th, and 9th graders from all over Greene County. Kind of think of it like the best of the best. They learned 4 songs, got together for an all-afternoon evening rehearsal on the Wednesday, got back together that Friday for a little bit more of rehearsal, a dress rehearsal, and then put on a concert that Friday night. So a lot of these kids, it was their first time meeting each other, let alone singing together, and it was such an amazing concert. So hold your applause, please, while I go through all of the names, but give an awesome wave so we know who you are. Representing Catskill in the junior high chorus was Lyric Blue, Chris Keck, Sophia Lanudo, Waylon Lynch, Victoria Reese, Brianna Rosano, Madison Salpaw, and Eliana Walmsley. Round of applause for these people. So one of the things that these guys actually don't know, they're going to hear this for the first time tonight. When I was programming this year, I was looking at music that once upon a time was slated to happen, and then this thing kind of shut the world down. And I really liked this music, and I was like, man. So I felt like it had been enough of a time. Everybody had kind of moved on to different grades, different buildings, and I said, I'm going to bring this music back. So the next 2 pieces I had actually programmed to be performed back in the spring of 2020. Fortunately, that never happened, but now tonight, these students will be performing them. And this next one, I hope nobody's scared of thunderstorms, because we're going to have some sound effects, and we are going to have, our next song is called A Dark and Stormy Night, and it's based on Edgar Allan Poe. Don't get scared.
A
Shortly after we wrapped up with All County, it was full steam ahead for the NYSSMA Solo Festival. So NYSSMA stands for the New York State School Music Association. And every year they host a solo festival. And it is completely optional. Kids volunteer to sign up for this. And when they do, they go at various levels. So music is rated on a level of difficulty from level 1 to 6. Okay, 1 is your easiest, 6 is your hardest. Okay, most students start out at level 1, and then some work their way up, some skip levels. It's really no set way of doing things. But for vocalists, the way that this works is they have to learn a specific song. Now, they can't learn their favorite song off of the radio or from their favorite artist. It's from a very specific list that NYSSMA puts out to the districts and says this is what your students can choose from. So a lot of it is your classical, and you get some Disney stuff, you get some Broadway stuff, but they do have a large range of options for them. So they have to learn this solo, and they have to have it memorized. And then they have to learn this wonderful technique that they love this so much. They have so much fun doing this. Stop looking at me like that. Work with me, okay? It's called sight singing, okay? Sight singing is where they hand them a piece of music, it has notes in front of them, there's no words, and then they're given a starting pitch, and then they're told, now sing it. So that takes skill. So they spend a lot of time working on that skill, and every vocalist loves sight singing, loves it. Shake your head, yes, help me out here. For some of these students, it's their first time ever performing by themselves. What they do is they go into a classroom, and the only other person in that room, besides themselves and our amazing accompanist, Miss Brooks, is an adjudicator. And what I tell the students is the adjudicator is a fancy name for another music teacher that has been trained how to fill out the paperwork. And so they listen to the student, they write amazing positive comments, they score them, and at our concerts we get to recognize the amazing accomplishments that these students have done. So again, this is a completely voluntary thing for students to do, they don't have to do it, but this is what, that NYSSMA score is what is used to recommend them for the all-county festivals, because it is a bit competitive, and especially as they get into the high school, there's more advanced ensembles, and so you have to be at that higher level with a, with a really good score in order to be selected for those higher level ensembles. So from this group, going at level 1, okay, so that's your very basic, it's your first year ever going to NYSSMA. We have Luis Corrado, who went level 1 and got a perfect score, which is a rating of an outstanding. We had Tatiana Villanueva, who also went level 1 and received an excellent rating. At level 2, so kind of like the next step up, a little bit harder music, receiving an excellent rating was Madison Salpa. Also receiving an excellent rating was Brianna Rosano. And receiving an outstanding rating was Sophia Lanudo. A round of applause for these awesome musicians. And just because I want to remind them again, remember at the end of the night, come see me over at the table because we do have certificates and we have some awards, pins, and medals. Those that went to All County receive an All County pin, and those that went to NYSSMA, depending on their ranking, determines which type of medal they get. So when you see kids with different medals, it just differentiated between whether they received an excellent or an outstanding or a good. It just depends on what their ranking was. It has nothing to do with level, just what their rating was in terms of their score. So we are going to finish up the 7th and 8th grade portion with our final piece called Always Sing Your Song.
We all have Always sing your song. Caribbean. The Curse of Black Pearl by Larry Moore. This movie soundtrack was exciting to learn, and it pushed us to play a new key signature with dotted rhythms. I hope you enjoyed our performance.
The next piece you will hear is titled Variations on a Theme by Grieg. The original melody is entitled Morning, and you may recognize it. In this piece, you'll first hear the melody from a few soloists. For each variation, new soloists will come forward with a new twist on a tune. Please hold your applause until the very end, and I hope you enjoy this performance of Variations on a Theme by Grieg.
sixth graders is to perform at the NISBA Solo Festival. For this event, we work hard to learn solos, memorize scales and rudiments, and refine our reading skills. After a lot of practice, we go to the festival and perform for a judge. It may be scary, but setting and achieving a goal is worth it. Your scores at NISBA allow you to apply for honor bands like All County.
NISBA solos help us set goals to achieve greater things. In my NISBA solo this year, I learned rhythms in 6/8 time. These solos challenge us in individual players. Next, we'll recognize the students who went to the 2023 NISBA Solo Festival.
The All-County Festival is where select students get together to form honor bands and perform challenging music together. This year, I got to go and be a part of the elementary All-County band. We played fun music from Aladdin, Dark Ride, and more. The music was very challenging, but it pushed me to become a better musician. It was also fun to hang out with friends and make some noise.
Hey everybody, Mr. Geraci, I'll just keep it short. I love letting the kids do the work. Thank you for being here tonight. The sixth grade band is truly a joy. This group is just so fun. We've got one last song for you. Wendy's going to introduce it. Thank you for letting me work with your kids. This is truly a pleasure, a highlight of my day.
The last piece you'll hear from us is titled Dragon Lord, written by Ringgold Stanbridge. This composer writes extremely exciting music, with plenty of 16th notes for percussion. This challenges our stick controls and articulation as a band. This piece is full of accidentals too, which are altered notes that just sound a little bit funkier than normal. We hope you enjoy your final performance of the evening. Thank you for coming.
which helped the students to understand. One of the things that I really try to work with my 6th grade students is I try to instill them, hey, nothing happens by having a bunch of soloists. Music doesn't happen by having a bunch of soloists. We have to work together as a team. Even though we are a group, we cannot be a group of individual voices. We have to be one group of one sound. So I love that song because it really helps for me to instill that technique with them so that we all have that one sound. One of the things that I wanted to mention tonight, you might notice up here, we have this beautiful, shiny, new piano. This is its inaugural performance. It's its first concert tonight. This is our brand new piano. Catskill community enough. I know Miss Brooks is loving every moment on this instrument. For any of you that play piano, it's, oh, the reaction on it is just, it's amazing. It's amazing. So thank you so much for supporting that in last year's budget. We are just so excited to be able to have that really truly complete our renovated auditorium. We are next going to move on to a song. So we had a nice little upbeat song. We're going to move on to our next song called Pushing Star.
Shining and shimmering up in the
about the NYSSMA Solo Festival, I actually had quite a few of my awesome 6th grade students, again, volunteer to do NYSSMA. Now, I don't know about you, but I don't like singing by myself. And that's kind of crazy, I know, I'm a chorus teacher, I get that. But at their age, I would have been petrified to sing a solo. And these kids did it. That takes so much courage and confidence. And I really could not be more proud of all of these students, because it really takes a special person to embrace that challenge and build that confidence to create what they're creating tonight. So I'm really, really proud of these kids. Students attend the NYSSMA Solo Festival at a level 1, so again, their very first time ever going. 4 of them received an excellent rating. Give a little regal wave, like we practiced. Madeline Kelly, Elizabeth Ashcroft, Sephora Kamari. I can never say your name. I'm gonna get it. No, not gonna happen. I have until she's a senior. For those I teach 6 through 12 course, I have until she's a senior. I'll get it. Isabella Lyles, and receiving the rating of an outstanding, Layla Smith. I have one more. Going at a level 2, because last year she went as a 5th grader, and this year we went as a 6th grader, so she went level 2. Receiving an excellent rating was Abby Myers. Very proud of you guys. Excellent work. We are going to continue on with another fun little song. I think they might like it. A little. Yeah, some of them don't like it. But I think most of them really like it. Yes. We're going to sing the Peanut Butter Song. Sorry, I gotta talk a little bit. We're transitioning. I would be a horrible, horrible person if I did not. Thanks. I would be a horrible, horrible person if I did not thank the most amazingly talented individual in this room. No, I'm not talking about myself or our awesome band directors, but I'm talking about the lady that sits at the piano. This lady accompanies our NYSSMA students. When these kids, their nerves are through the roof and they're about ready to tear up, she comes up to them and she has the most amazing calming presence. These students have fallen in love with her. I swear they would go to the ends of the world for her before they would do that for me. They absolutely adore her. We could not go to NISBA Solo Festival without her. We could not have our concerts without her. Can we please give a round of applause for our amazing accompanist tonight, Miss Janet Rose. She always yells at me when I have to. Fun little fact, I see these wonderful individuals the very last period of the day. Now imagine what they get like, what they're like when they come home. Imagine teaching that. It's interesting. No, we have a lot of fun, and they really have been able to help me keep that motivation up. So this is a really special group of kids. I really love these kids. We're going to finish up our program here for the chorus tonight with an awesome song called I'm Homeward Bound.
Was evening, everybody. Thank you so much for coming out. It's a pleasure to play for you. That was Zigzag by Sean O'Lowan. And next up is Egyptique by William Owens. Enjoy it. Missing one thing, so let me talk about NYSSMA for a second. So, we had some amazing players go to NYSSMA this year. I'm so proud of all of them. Just as you've heard earlier, they play in front of judges, they sight read, and they get scores. They get all these amazing comments from the judges, so they talk about all the things that they did great and they should keep doing, and then not only things that they could improve on, but more importantly, how to improve. And sometimes it's great because there are things that might pass by me and I don't catch it, and they catch it, and sometimes it's great because they're saying exactly what I've been telling them forever and they can finally do it. I would like for all of them to stand up as I call their name, and please hold your applause until we get through all of them, because there are quite a lot of them. So we have Jax Marquez in the back there, Ketch Pruden, also in the back, Aaron Cousins, Luis Giraldo, yep, I'll get it. Madison Salpa, Isabel Johnson, Ryan Winters, Waylon Lynch, Victoria Reese, Sophia Lanudo, and Charlie Goodell. And let's hear it for all of these amazing players. It's also so fun to watch them go from Mr. Dowling, I can't do this is too hard, to Mr. Dowling, I can't believe I got a perfect score on that. So it's so fun to watch that progression. All right, awesome. So we are going to move on to our next piece, Egyptique. Next up will be Dominion by Randall Standridge. Okay, sorry about that. So our last piece, actually before we get to our last piece, I'd like to give a whole bunch of thank yous. So this obviously doesn't happen magically. There's a lot of people that put a lot of time into this, that support us, support the kids, really help them grow. So first I'd like to start off with a personal thank you to Mrs. Giulio and Mr. Geraci. They do an amazing job in the 4th, 5th, and 6th grades, and they supply me with great kids, which makes my job so much easier. So a huge thank you to those two. And then on behalf of the music department, we would like to thank our principal and assistant principal, Mrs. Overbaugh and Mrs. Koger. We'd also like to thank Mr. Hernandez in the back and his team for the video that they're working on. We'd like to thank all the custodians for setting things up, keeping things clean so you guys can walk into a nice clean environment and be comfortable. We would like to thank all the helpers behind the scenes, such as our curtain people, our chaperones, all of them. We really appreciate it. Of course, all of you for supporting your children in growing in many, many different ways. And then thanks to all the students here on stage and in the audience that has performed tonight. You guys have all done an amazing job, so big round of applause for all of those people. Okay, so our last piece is Roller Coaster in the Dark by Corey McBride. I hope you enjoy it. Thank you again all so much for coming out tonight. Have a safe trip home, and we'll see you next time.